Ladies and dudes, I got some good news to tell you. Finally, at long last, I have finally gotten all three of the films that I truly missed from this year. These three important movies I haven't seen in the movie theaters back from February and March. And it's a good thing I saved this movie for last. This one. And I'm very darn sorry that this poor movie had negative reviews from this year. This movie's not all that bad once you get to know this film. It's pretty darn good in its own right. Well, I'll tell you about it right now. Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes. This is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop 1987. This is my review for today. And today, I do have a movie review, ladies and dudes. In November the 1st, 2023. Finally, I finally got to see this movie at long last. So for my next movie review is Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I will say this is going to be one of the most underrated movies of this year. That's for sure. Yeah. Does anybody feel kind of sorry for this movie for having so many negative reviews of this year? I think it shouldn't deserve those negative reviews. Yeah. I wonder what the heck are those critics are thinking. At least it's better than the Thor movie and also Doctor Strange 2. I think this movie is way better than those previous films that came from last year. That's for sure. At least it's funny and exciting and it's science fiction. And yes, this movie is like Star Wars meets Guardians of the Galaxy, and that the last anime movie that wasn't so good from Disney called Strange World. Yeah, it's a mixed film like that. Well, anyway, let's get on to the movie review of Ant-Man in the Quantum Realm. Yeah. Or rather, if I will call it Ant-Man 3. That's for sure. So, let's head on to the main plot of the story. It's a story about our dear beloved dude named Scott Lang. He's starting to become a popular dude now. He's on a new life, a new chapter, and he wants to become a normal guy as soon as he can and have a good relationship with Hope, the woman of his dreams. Well, the one who did change his life forever. And yes, he's part of the Hank family now. Yeah, he has a family now. You know, like a father-in-law and a mother-in-law and his daughter Casey. Now she joins the family. And now their family is hanging on to that weirdo world called the Quantum Realm, and it's just a wild and crazy roller coaster ride of a film. And very science fiction-like. Yeah, that's for sure. So, it's gonna be a wild and crazy world that the Hank family will never forget in the Marvel's history. And yeah, they gotta be careful of this Cade dude. The guy who could ruin the multiverse. Yeah, you get the picture. So anyway, that's my whole entire plot of the Ant-Man 3. And I guess everybody wants to know is, what the heck do I think about this movie? Well, to tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, I really did enjoy this movie. This is a very fun and interesting movie to watch. And like I said, I wish this movie doesn't deserve those negative reviews. So I will say maybe like 78% for Rotten Tomatoes. Maybe 78% might work for this film, maybe. That's for sure. I will say it had a pretty good storyline for the most part. The characters are likable. The casting is good, as usual. It has great special effects. It had a really good score. It has some good action scenes. And there's so many seriousness here and there that's going on in the movie. And yes, there are some characters here and there who got fleshed out and well developed in this movie. Yeah, I really do enjoy this movie from start to finish. And yes, it does have some few weak points in the film. So anyway, let's head on to my strongest points and the weakest points of Ant-Man 3 or Ant-Man and the Wasp in the Quantum Realm. Or Quantumania, whichever you want to say. So I will say for the strongest points for this movie are the special effects. I mean, the special effects is so freaking amazing in this movie. It just blew me away from start to finish. I guess you could say this Quantumania thing is a big giant fish out of water movie. I guess it does count as a fish out of water movie since nobody never talks about movies that's really fish out of water. So I think this movie counts as a fish out of water film. Yeah, we get to know about the whole entire Quantumania world. It's just wild and crazy. We see so many creatures and yes, there are some humans who live there as well. And yeah, it's just pure nuttiness. What else I could say? Yeah, the special effects is just amazing. So freaking amazing in so many ways. It just blew my mind. Like, yeah, I have nothing else to say about, this whole entire special effects thing. I will say the special effects is truly the strongest point of the movie. I will say for my weakest points for this movie is, yeah, the movie did drag just a tiny bits around at the near middle point of the film. Just a tiny bit. But I will say my weakest point of the movie is what happened to Scott Lang's friends. They never mentioned them in the whole entire movie. I wonder what the heck happened to them. And why they are not there in the third film. Even this dude who likes to tell stories in a fast-paced way. I forgot that dude's name. Who is such a comedy relief, and he gave us so many laughs. I wonder what the heck happened to Scott Lang's friends. His 3 beloved goofballs that could give us a laugh. It's a sad shame we didn't see them in this film. I really do like those guys from the past 2 Ant-Man films. Sadly to say. So yeah, I'll say my weakest points of this movie is there was a tiny part that was a little bit dragged, and also what happened to Scott Lang's friends. And yeah, we never seen Scott Lang's ex-wife and her husband. I wonder what the heck happened to them. Oh yeah, another thing I like about the third Ant-Man movie, at least it's much better than Taken 3. That's for sure. At least this storyline is all about family, and families need to stick together as a whole, no matter what. So yeah, I will say this movie is much better than Taken 3. That's for sure. And I'm glad there is a storyline that's all about family. Something that was truly missing from the third film itself. That's for sure. And now, let's go on to the characters. Man, there are so many characters to choose from. Yeah, I love Scott Lang, aka Ant-Man. He's a really good comedy relief man since he's the main character of the story, and his storyline's pretty darn interesting, you know, having a new life and a new chapter and try to become a better man than ever. I do like Mrs. Hank's storyline since we finally got to know her a whole lot better, and the reason why she was stuck in the quantum realm for so many years, and she got involved with that villain dude who's nothing but a bad sign to her, something she has to warn her family about. And yeah, about that Kane dude, played by this actor I really don't know of. Yeah, he's a very terrifying villain. He creeps us out. And I will admit he is a very serious villain. There is some seriousness about this dude that all of us need to be aware of. Yeah, that guy did a pretty good job playing that villain. But I know in later on in life, as a real person, he got involved with trouble of this year. And I have no idea if he'll come back or reprise his role as that terrifying villain. I'm not sure if they'll bring him back or replace him. We don't know the whole entire later on story for the Marvel's universe. Hard for me to say. And yeah, I do like Casey, this actress I really don't know of. At least she's a pretty good character to it. At least she got some good fleshing out and developing in this movie. And she is a really good daughter to Scott, since they have some very good character development and chemistry in this film. That's for sure. So yeah, all the characters are really, really good in this movie. What else I could say? And yeah, it's strange to see Bill Murray in the film, but sadly he had a small role in it. And we only know a little of him. So anyway, that's all I could say about the characters. And now let's head on to my final thought of Ant-Man 3. Overall, Ant-Man 3 or Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, I will say this is one of the most underrated Marvel movies I have ever watched in my whole entire life. This movie needs to be overlooked right away. And screw those stupid critics. They have no idea what the heck they're missing in a Marvel's film. I will say it had a pretty good storyline for the most part. The characters are enjoyable. I love the special effects from start to finish. It had a really good score. It has some good action scenes and really good casting. And this is one of the Marvel films I will enjoy so far. And I'm very darn sorry it was a weak start for Phase 5. Well, you guys get the picture. So for my rating for this film, I gave it an 8.7 out of 10. Finally, I got all 3 of the films that I truly missed in theaters. I finally got to see all 3 of them at long last from February and March. Finally, I got it all done. Hallelujah to that. And that is my whole entire movie review of Ant-Man 3. And I'm not sure what will be my next movie reviews are. Well, there are 2 more movie reviews I would like to do for 2023, but I gotta wait till it comes out on DVD. Yeah, I got 2 films I would like to check out. One is one from Kenneth Branagh, you know, his 3rd film, and also another Liam Neeson film. Yeah, I got some other 2 films I haven't got a chance to see in theaters. Because the money situation thing. Well, if you guys know me too well. But I will see what my next movie reviews will be in November and December. I swear to that. So, be prepared for my next movie review to come, and I'll see you all later, and sayonara.